Daily sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Las Vegas, Nevada. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Green Bay Packers and the Las Vegas Raiders. Two teams here fresh off week 1 victories. Who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports? And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. Rodgers going to the air to start things out. That'll be complete to Allen Lazard. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Throwing is Rodgers. That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. He has it complete to Christian Watson. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That gain on 3rd down, good for 28.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did.
And it's a Packers touchdown. Christian Watson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Packers are on the board first here in Vegas. Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. The Raiders at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they've gotten a pretty good deal from the schedule makers as well. Home dates in Weeks 1 and 2.
And I would believe that they would need to take advantage of that, partner, because as you can imagine, the road dates will pile up later this season. So this is a great opportunity for them to put some early distance on the rest of the division and create a little bit of a cushion for them for later in the year.
11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Throwing is Wilson. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. This defense for the Packers, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose it down on the grounding call. Wilson. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And they'll get him down up past the 15. Trying to find some space to operate, and now they'll have it. A gain of 12, a big first down to get away from the end zone. And the tight end goes in motion left. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's 2nd down.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Rodgers. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He finds Watson complete. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. Much more room to operate under after the big play. Here's 1st and 10. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. They'll have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends are like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 20. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now it's Wilson. And this is caught by Watkins. Colton Miller, former first-round pick, called for the penalty there. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Packers 7, Raiders 0.
To throw is Wilson. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They will run the draw with Jacobs. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give them 12 yards that time and a Las Vegas first. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Rasul Douglas picks it, and the Packers are going to take possession here at their own 33. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
On play action, now Rodgers. This is caught. It's Christian Watson. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain there of 30 big ones. But one thing's for sure, they're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game.
And down he goes, brought down a Raider sack. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get it. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. They'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. Got a man, it's Tunyon. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. So the PI decline, and that'll give him a fresh set of downs.
And when you scout tight ends, one thing you want to know, just how strong they are. And we saw it in evidence there. He was able to fight through all the contact and still secure the football.
This one swung out here to Jones. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
So now from half the distance closer, here's first and goal. To throw is Rodgers. The quick slant caught. Touchdown. Robert Tonyan, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Packers have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Zuerlein good with a PAT, and it's now 14-0.
Packers 14, Raiders nothing. Greg Zuerlein set to kick
Now
off.
after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the play did on the last one.
I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Now Wilson. Same target. It's Jacobs again. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
To throw again is Wilson. Looking deep for Adams. He rifles one that's intercepted. Rasul Douglas picks it, and they will take over at the 29-yard line.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just talking about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
5 yards on the play. And it's 3rd down.
Here's Rodgers to throw. Tonyan's got it on the out route. And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. He'll look to set up his blockers. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. And just a net of 31 here. 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. The first play of the drive there is incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Final play of the half, it's Wilson. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back now alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this third quarter of action. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Uses the stiff arm. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 46 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Now Wilson on 1st down. He finds his man, complete. It's Watkins.
Always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? I don't like any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Yeah, he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. They've got another 1st down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. Wilson. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. Throwing again here, Wilson. And Waller taking it in over the middle. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And the Packers are going to have it here at their own 15. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 15. And he'll begin the drive with a give to Jones. A gain of 3, 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
That's Tunyon bringing in the quick throw. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down.
And this is caught at the 20. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That one good for 37 yards.
They came out with an aggressive mindset to start the 3rd quarter, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them take more of these type of deep shots as this game moves along. They connected there. They expect to connect on more before this one's over.
Well, this offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. And it's a Packers touchdown. Alan Lazard, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Packers have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Eric Stokes. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Again, it's Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Caught on the right side by Jones. Touchdown! 4 touchdown passes now for Aaron Rodgers. And the Packers will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. So, Charles, they are well on their way to a 2-0 start. Now, last week, they had the close victory. This one more commanding, much more comfortable.
Well, the sense we got from them was that last week they felt like they didn't play their best. They got the win, but they weren't really on top of their game. But they put it all together here in this one, haven't they? What an impressive performance.
Now, after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here.
And now here's another interception. Picked off by Darnell Savage.
And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day. They're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11.
3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Up the middle, Jones. Stops short of the 25, but that second effort got him a couple extra. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them. trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On third down, here's Jones. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a fourth down.
But this was just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. It's been a tough go for them. It's still without any points here in the fourth quarter. And a big deficit, Charles, but they moved the football on some drives. They just haven't had any points.
Yeah, I know in their minds they're thinking the game plan has actually been working. We just haven't scored points. Well, isn't that the bottom line, partner? To put points on the board. So if you're moving it and you're not scoring, is it really working? Right now, they've got nothing left to lose. They might as well go for broke.
Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. Meanwhile, Wilson's throw complete here to Waller. 3 yards remain for 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 43-yard line.
Looking again for Waller, and he's got him again. And they're going to get this up to midfield. A few moving pieces on that play because that was an RPO, was it not?
It was, but one important piece that didn't move incorrectly, the offensive line. Because when you're running this play, as he continued down the line of scrimmage, sometimes the lineman can wander downfield. And if you're more than a yard downfield, it's illegal to throw the football at that point. But they held their ground, held their spot, and turned it into a nice game.
This game well in hand. Perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a 1st down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
From the 22, Wilson. He'll get that out to the flat to White. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds.
Here we go. It's now 2nd and 6.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Packers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, they've got the huge lead now. They have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts in the season.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
At the 20-yard line.
They'll try and run some clock now with Jones. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 53 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll go again to Jones. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
33-yard line.
From the shotgun, a give to Jones. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on third down. Throwing is Rodgers. Pass caught. It's Romeo Doubs. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you can hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you force turnovers.